Hello Capricorn, this is Caro. Thank you so much for tuning in. We are going to read for 2020. This is going to be singles love tarot reading. We will explore the singles love tarot reading in 3 sections. Also complementary with the oracle cards there. So we have 3 sections, which means we have 3 spreads. In the first spread, we will see your dating history, what you think you want, what you really need. We will do a reality check and we will give advice. In the second spread, we will try to see the issues surrounding you around love, your behavioral patterns, and what areas needs further growth, need to change or are liberated within yourself. We will all try to have an insight about these subjects through this spread. And in the last spread, we will see a potential love interest manifesting for 2020, and we are gonna see through this connection if you repeat the same patterns or you are manifesting something different than what you have before. So this spread is a whole package, and this is also what I give to people who come to me for singles love tarot reading in private. This is what I'm offering, because I do not make instant gratification readings. I really take the things from very base and bring it to try to bring it to the utmost experience. So this is how my readings are usually. It's not about instant gratification, but wanna see like the rooted things first in your love life, and how they are evolving and what they are turning out to be. We will also get help from the oracle cards. So we're gonna see here, for instance, the vocation of the person, a possible vocation, their emotional connection to you, their physical features, some glimpses I will talk about, but I'm gonna interpret all this position in the fashion that I read tarot, okay? So all subscribers know. So let's begin, Capricorn. Let me get some tea. And let's begin. So the first card series here is about your dating history, where you have been. So your dating history, where you have been. Let's see who you were, who your partner was, and the relationship you were in. You were in a 4 of Wands relationship with this person, 6 and the 6. Actually, I see here a harmonious couple at the very core. The air and the earth element, nice. I see here with your airy quality, trying to bring harmonization of ideas, and the other person is I see 6 of Pentacles, maybe a bit indulgent person. Okay, indulgent person. 6 of Pentacles can be a bit physical narcissism, obsession with appearance, and it can indicate venality. It can be a bit profit card. You here, on the other hand, with the 6 of Swords, of course, we are assuming the relationship is over, and this can be just one of the past persons from your past, but maybe for some of you, this is going to be the most obvious one. I see here you are internalizing the actions of the other person, 6 of Swords, because here we are witnessing an act of internalization. I see here you try to attain beauty here in your mind through the actions of other person. In a way, in 2 6s, I see one person actually sees the other at the very core as a kindred spirit. So it's like maybe it has started, the one person was like the soul of the other. But of course, the relationship is over. We assume that you are single now. So maybe not the problem was in the relationship, because that was a 4 of Wands relationship. So something I think got too routine for people with the Four of Wands. Routine, something with the foundations. People were a bit here, maybe a lack of having building something together. So it can be one person ending up more authoritarian than the other and can be like imposing the other person, or the foundations, or it can be, how to say, the people were okay, but their conditions or anything which was making a foundation to this relationship at this times maybe were not really as people wanted. So there can be a kind of, I see here, you know, there are sometimes things intentional, there are things that people do or act, but I see here with the Four of Wands, people try to build up the relationship, but maybe due to the lack of a common interest later, it has created maybe a boredom in their relationship. Actually, I don't see people, people can be good in their personal lives individually, but after all, we are making what the relationship is, you know, doing. Here, for instance, it can be, there can be an amount of time, for instance, for some of you, of course, this is not going to resonate with everyone. There was a time that you were together, but when it comes to form maybe a family or a partnership, there were some problems there. It can be. I see for some of you people were already established, so maybe it was hard for them to make some necessary changes, okay, out of their already established lives. But I think there is a shared experience here in your past relationship. Maybe it didn't make the foundations. It didn't have a good foundation. It can be. But I see here people, maybe people here were not the first partners of each other. So that's why they were maybe already established, but it was maybe hard to make a beginning for some of you. Yeah, so, but I see here people being quite capable. I see here you are like you are the song of this relationship, the song. The person was the instruments, like the orchestra and the song, the tune that come out. Here you are more of like the tune to what is visible from the outside, but the other person like more of like the orchestration, for instance. Yeah, and you are the song. So and Four of Wands is like the stage and everything. The show will be held. So there were some problems at the show. I mean, it's like a good music players, good singers, okay, good vocal, good orchestra chef. But Four of Wands, the stage was awful, or it was like the organization was awful. So people couldn't make their song to be heard, let's say. Something in that nature, I take these cards. So this is where have you been. Let's see what you think you want. So what you think you want the star, you want the soul connection, soulful connection, Capricorn. You want them to be a person, you want stability in the other person, not like emotionally dragged down person, but you want a stable person, a person who can give you a base, a foundation. In some cards, Four of Cups is the luxury card in some decks. And I see here you like people who is capable of loving themselves and not placing their all hopes for realization in others or submitting to another person. I see here you want the actually stable, independent partners. But maybe the star here again, if you have an artistic skill, Capricorn, I think you got a lot of inspiration from your partners or from your relationships, or you like to be acclaimed and appreciated by the partner. And I see here actually being a source of inspiration. The star, the Six of Swords. So Six of Swords is inspiration for the mind. Aestheticism card in the Marcel decks. This is how I interpret it, and that's how it comes in my readings. And the star here, I feel actually you want really something ideal. Yeah, something ideal. But this is what you want. I will tell you what you need in the other section. I see here also a kind of a realization. You have these hopes, maybe these dreams, and you wonder if they can be also realized through a relationship. That's why you want a secure base. There is a 4, is a secure number. Plus, I don't think that you want to give time to people who are incapable of loving themselves. Plus, there is again, in the 4 actually, there is a risk of boredom. You need to be careful about that. But let me see. The relationship you say you are looking for, the Tower. Oh, this is party. In a way that enthusiastic relationships. Enthusiastic, amorous, life field, because this is like the neon lights. Now, Tower relationships also transformational. I want a relationship which can come and change me from tip to toe with all its elements. The Tower relationship is also relationships you want. You can go through thick and thin with the person. Like, you know, also anything that life can have, you can have it in your relationship. It's like you want a lover. You want like a partners in crime. You want a good friend. You want a person like, for instance, also very connected in the soul level. Tower, we can go through anything together. So now, then, this is reminding me this. There is something harmonious in your mind. Again, the star lady is also the star. Okay, the singer, let's say, because star is also our talents and gifts. Okay, here is the person also, cup energy, emotional foundation, feeling why something needs to be nourished there. And the Tower is now this time the real orchestra. It's like 4 genres of music come together and play, all together. You want something big in your relation, big orchestration, let's say. Maybe deep down in your subconscious. Just a sec. But your tarot reader, of course, will always tell you what you need. Okay? So this is actually what makes our work authentic. What you really need then. So you at your best. Oh, yeah, Ace of Pentacles. Best person partner for you. Ace of Swords. Oh, wow, Capricorn. 2 aces. Have a little bit beginner's mind. Don't come with so much settled and fixed notions and dreams and ideas. Be a bit open. See what each potential within you, they carry, you carry, can form the best relationship for you. 5 of Cups. Okay, have a bit surprise. 5 will give you the Tower's influence. Definitely. Now, the Tarot says, now, how it prepares you to your love life. Have your potential, their potential. Your partner can have a person more of like air quality. Ace of Pentacles, we need your earth qualities here in this connection. And there is something unrealized yet and can be realized through this connection. But the relationship will make 5. It is gonna doesn't create a stable, which can later becomes a boredom, but spontaneous interactions, spontaneous, a bit surprise element is in the fives. We have surprise element a bit. We are not settled a bit. So life wants to bring out your creating, potential, seeing, investing, acting. You know, life wants from you to bring out that elements. The other person has a good here intellectual faculties. It says fall in love with someone smart, Capricorn. So someone who can really intellectually also open up the path. A person who has the crown. You have the pentacle. Okay, so you're gonna grant them. Okay, and they will like open horizons, and it's gonna make water here. Yeah, this is like now we talk about this orchestra. Then this time, what kind of orchestra? Now you will get me actually. You only play one instrument, but you are perfect at it. They only play one instrument. They are also perfect with that. But the orchestration this time is like not the four types of genre or musicians all together, you know, playing the orchestra, but it's more like how you can, with two only instruments, play the most complex most complex music, for instance. Okay, you know, there is this videos you can find everywhere with one little instrument. They all you know, carry a Mozart, you know, or like you know, it's a bit creative people here, I see. So this is this kind of thing. Two instruments, with only two instruments, how you can play this and this song. I don't know the song, but I don't know, it's you know, the what you need part is come like, it gives you a little bit challenge to challenge yourself actually. It makes you what you need, it says for 2020, bringing out that potential. And someone's mind is also needs their crown back, I think. So this can be a good match. I have the tool, I have the idea. Okay, now let's play it. And let's make one of the most beautiful songs. Minimal instrument, maximize Five of Cups. Among the gamut of emotions, I think a five is a really, you can find every kind of sentiment in a five. So, and you see the fifth one, there is a heart here. It's the product of love, what you're gonna put out there. Okay, so, but I think you got me, Capricorn. Sometimes with language, it can get so complex, you know. But sometimes with kind of this kind of analogies, giving me, just a sec, to express myself better. So let's begin now with the reality check, where you are at. The reality check, how you are perceived by others, Capricorn. Would you like to know it? You are perceived by a Knight of Cups. You are perceived by a Knight in shiny armor. Man, woman, doesn't matter, of course. The type of person you are attracting. Oh, Chariot. Now, in the Marcel decks, this is the boy card. The young prince, who isn't like experienced yet, and who is like, okay, you attract people who wait a kind of direction from you, but they are a bit lack of their own initiative, like lack of initiative to initiate something. That's why they're always like in standstill. Their movement is vertical, not horizontal. So it's the Chariot's time and space movement. The relationships you are attracting, devil. One person becomes a manipulation for the other, or there is this control power, and yeah, like devil. A lot of play, control, passion, unconscious forces directing the relationship, taboo kind of relationships. It can be what you are attracting, physical dependencies. I see here actually, you know, okay, we have these two cards, when the romantic knight and the relatively inexperienced chariot, because this is the time when you are out of home. From the 6 lovers, from your home you go out in the open. It's like the Buddha leaving the palace and, you know, going to public and see the poverty. So it's a beginner's mind people you attract, but yourself is this beginner's mind people cannot grasp the act of things or romanticism you can or could offer. They are trying to figure out what he is doing. Capricorn, you are offering too much than they can take. But maybe this is, you want to gain some kind of a control maybe by creating that, but this is not only you. The other person maybe becomes a bit dependent to you later, okay? Or they go and play in their own ground, like not playing together. Maybe there is something too mature with you, because this is a boy card here in this reading. So yes, there is something here a bit, of course, this is just a suggestion here, dear Capricorn friends. It is not going to resonate with everyone. We are just exploring what cards are trying to tell us through these archetypal associations. And there can be also people who you attract who has a kind of a chariot, is a soldier, patriot, but blind patriots, or blind, let's say there is this concept, okay, and it is very historical, it is very epic, it's very this and that, but people like overly identifying themselves with too mundane concepts, limited with their geographical or cultural conditionings, rather than seeing a more like a worldly, you know, more universal truths and ideas there. Yeah, that can be. And maybe in your society you live, there is this social law, social forms. Maybe you attract taboo kind of relationships, it can be. This can be also white devil, because it may also come, the relationships you attract, come from a particular hidden conservatism, it can be. So, you know, this is a bit interesting one. But this is not something you can fully, because maybe that's why Tarot says, Capricorn, hey, throughout 2020, and if everything goes well, you are beginner, they are beginner. Now make the most complicated music. I don't know, it's this is so crowded, Capricorn. But look at the simplicity of the cards here. Have a more easily association, more helping in an energy level in order to initiate something. Lots of horses. There is movement here. And you know, there is, now with the horses sometimes in the cards, actually every little thing is important. And when I grasp it intuitively, I want you to also know the direction. With the direction, there is something in the relationships of people. Which direction? Okay, where now? What now? You know. And sometimes you forget, for instance, you cannot stop the horse going. Then poof, the horse goes like galloping and throws you. You know, there is something interesting here. I don't know if some of you is working or ever associated with horses, or like farm or something with horses. There is something here with the vehicles or transportation, if you are in that kind of field. And then due to maybe similar areas, maybe you always attract similar people from your work field, for instance. but then it becomes a bit codependent. Or there is something also, you are maybe attract also generationally younger people than you, it can be for some of you, but I see your ideal here. Let me see the advice. What is working for you? Knight of Swords working for you. In the pursuit of love for 2020, intellectual pursuits is really working for you, knowing what you want. Knowing what you want, but does not mean that we always get it, but knowing what you want, it is actually what we need. Part is actually what is really good for us, but wanting, you know, what you want, I'm speaking here, you know what you like, what gives you, you know, enthusiasm, and you are easily speaking these out. I love this, for instance, to say that you know, with the, and there is something with this night, there is always something enthusiastic. There is always this new thing, this new idea. In the communication wise, there is something very lively. This works for you, it says. This definitely works for you. And being, well, sometimes being frank. But of course, when in two extreme cases, or when this energy in us is like too stimulating, like a night can have, it is of course important to seek balance and control with our actions, because the energy around this card is very wild and extreme it can be. But it is okay to show that you have that energy without being too direct or blunt, or too authoritative, or too overbearing, or too cutting, or too knowledgeable, too opinionated. Your sincerity is really working. Your sincerity, your eagerness, okay? It's not gonna go unnoticed. And you need to work out if your actions are helping or hindering your relationships. You need to check that out. This is gonna work for you. To search a kind of a great meaning in your thoughts through your conversations. This is nice, you know, trying to seek that greater meaning. Of course, that Wooden Knight can find a place to fit in easily, or do they want to, you know, relate this night energy? Knights do not necessarily find, you know, trying to find things that they can fit in, but this is more of like the energy wants to be in that circle, in that cycle. It's not a passive energy, definitely. So, and something you can really nourish with your intellectual faculties. But what does not work for you, work against you? Oh, King of Swords. Okay. Now, it says Knight of Swords works for you. But again, this reading is putting you into a more beginner state. Like, don't be so much opinionated or too authoritative, too much authoritarian, yes. Too much cutthroat, too much, maybe you have this condition or position to be so. That's why that does not work for you, it says. What does not work? You being very cautious does not work for you, of course. King of Swords can be in its worst aggressive, abusive, violent, brutal, you know. But, or don't let your heart overrule your head completely, or vice versa. Don't lose your cool over silly things, it says. Be present in your relationships. Don't be absent, it says. Well, it can be, yeah, it's a bit lively energy. It's like it does not make you king, this reading. It wants you to have, it wants you to be Knight of Swords and enjoy the process. Yes. So this kind of energy, but let's see how to maximize your chance for finding love. King of Wands, and Fire King's energy you have. Yeah, I mean, this is how to say, there is a picture here that tarot draws you sitting and telling your opinion, and okay, this is your advice, this is your advice, this is your advice. You know, this doesn't work. It says it wants you to put again Knight of Swords. This is fiery, airy air, and this is fire earth. So this is like a bit, yeah, earth, fire, air elements is definitely working for you, but in a way that it wants you to be bold. It wants you to be a bit brave. It wants you to be a bit. King of Swords can be really with the King of Swords. It can be very fixated. You know, King of Wands is like your enthusiastic side and the flow of creative energy with the ideas which can be really enjoyed. Very inspiring. Very inspiring. Don't be forceful. Be inspiring, it says. Bold. And hold your head high, Capricorn. Yes. Charismatic energy, productive energies will help you, because this is gonna help you to attract the love you are looking for. And sometimes why you don't be King of Swords, maybe it is sometimes important to be humble, forward thinking, fair thinking, rather than settled opinions is important. Yeah, something in that nature. Enthusiastic energy helping you. And to believe in yourself is helping you. Now, let's see this part of the reading, and it's going to be, now this is going to represent you and the issues surrounding you. Hermit. There is it seems a spiritual crisis in a time where you are seeking. Maybe you are contemplating on the past. Maybe the past is becoming very dominant now in your life. Or it's like, I always look at the past, this side, cannot see what is coming to me for the future. So there can be too much dwelling on past with a little bit maybe spiritual crisis, in which you are now learning to listen yourself, and you are gonna come out of this. There is definitely seeking. There is also maybe an expectation. You may still want maybe for some of you someone to connect you, okay, but that's why maybe it's hard for you to make new steps. It can be the behavioral patterns, Hierophant, which are influencing your love life, a convention, a tradition, a dogmatic things. Maybe this is religious dogmatic things. It can be society expectations, or a kind of a conservatism. I don't know, but this can really, I don't know, but in your case, I see you in a conservative place, maybe cannot, like, being fully liberated, I feel. There is an expectation, actually, with maybe overly dogmatic ideas over you, like you cannot break out a particular tradition, maybe. There is a lot of conservative thought, maybe. And maybe for some of you there is a teacher or long time a person who is always giving advice, but maybe it's time for you to break that chains and communicate your own, and tapping into your own spiritual power. It can be a particular influence over you, I do feel. Now, what area needs further growth in order for you to find love. In your daily life, you need to expand, Capricorn. Well, hopefully we will do that when our mundane world gets normalized for sure throughout 2020. But this is also how you handle things. Creating time for your relationships, being present in your relationships is important. Something with the work and life balance, it can be work and love balance, it can be with your occupation. There is something with work, maybe you need to do some changes which is very influencing your love life, it can be, or with the place you are living, it can be. Some mundane changes are needed. Let's see now other changes. The Tower, there is something it wants you to break free, Capricorn. Now I see a lot of Capricorns here maybe watching this have a restriction in at least one area of life, regardless of now what we are going through as all the world, but there is a particular thing, even let's say before the pandemic, which is creating a restriction here. So maybe this also time of life will actually make forces, of course, change in all of us, and we will also be making changes. But of course, nothing will be the same. The Tower, nothing will be the same. So there is something what you need to do. Change can be more maybe radical than other signs even here. Some really complete radical changes, which I feel like you are breaking free of like a prison kind of a mind, also thoughts, maybe something influence over you that you are maybe surrounded with. But I see here, because you are here a beginner in a place, I see, and you have the second Tower now. Something is changing foundationally from your life. The way that you look at love, maybe, or the way you relate with others, it can be. Liberation card, 9 of Swords, or you need to really, no need for overly negative scenarios when love and your life is in question. This shall too pass. This shall too pass. And we will all get normalized. So 9 of Swords here is telling me that try to go out of your mind. When it's time, you can make the necessary changes, which is gonna influence your love life. And I think for some of you there is a particular thought that you try to process. When you have hard time processing it, it gives you a little bit obsession with it, but you can really actually break free from that chains of your own mind. So what you're gonna liberate yourself is actually the consciousness within. So it's like you're gonna have to release your here a bit, some kundalini, let's say. This is something really strong will come out. I see here you are in a seeking period. There is a foundation maybe you trusted, or it took you for some time to a point, but now it's not working. You're gonna change it, it seems. Let's see some romance angels foresights. Keep an open mind. There you go. The Flirt. Forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. So this is coming from the Hermit period. The Flirt element with the lightheartedness when you do the Two of Pentacles. Your open mind coming here with the releasing of this chains of the mind. Keep an open mind, the Tower energy, and this is also happening in our mind. So this pattern is repeating your spreads here. Surrender stress, surrender worry, surrender trust. There you go. Surrender stress, surrender worry, and surrender trust. Take a few deep breaths and exhale the tension you have built up in your body. Let the stress go as you come back to your center. Very straightforward messages. Make a commitment not to lead an anxiety-driven life. When worries arise, breath them out of your body. Focus on the power of your heart and have faith that spirit is guiding you always. Trust yourself and your decisions. Don't be swayed by others, people's strong opinions. Yes, there is a hierophant influence over you. A particular tradition, dogma, or I don't know, a family figure or a teacher over you. But yeah, take action and be confident that you have chosen the right path. There is something here, it feels like you got not break the chains. And when you realize yourself, actually, the love will manifest, right? So let's see now what is manifesting in potential. Your new love interest is the Lovers. Wow. Okay, this is really a person who is in some kind of a crossroad also in their own life. It's like they will either choose the growth and the person to love and live with, or they're gonna like stay blind to their this relationship. This is the person you actually manifesting for you is as same as with you. So yeah, okay, your energy attracts something similar. Their vocation and what they do for living. So something with Capricorn. Now we have the Queen of Pentacles. This person can be a person from agriculture area, gardening, forestry. Maybe they are building homes, affordable homes, ecological homes, furnishing. Maybe they create. They can be something with food processing, some practical elements, down to earth person, nursery it can be, practical arts and crafts it can be, some nutritionist it can be, something with money, accountant it can be, or something with office, distributor it can be, but again something with practical matters. A person in the field of preventive health, it can be, again, personal trainer, nutritionist, pharmacist, it can be a gardener, a teacher. Let me see another card here. So now this is going to be their best characteristic, 10 of Cups, or this person seeks the paradise. Their best characteristic is a person who can really give and create happiness for their lives and for the other person. The ultimate goal of relationships. They have the potential to create it. Their flaws, 4 of Cups, but are they willing to do it? They have the Cups. So how to say, this person, you have also the 4 of Cups, can be a person like a person you want, but how to say, they always, actually this person is like, I need to meet with someone who can really awake wake up and do something kind of attitude in me. So they actually look for an outer stimulant. And maybe this can be you, because Lovers is making them in some kind of a choice. This person is also, I think, about to manifest you, okay? Because I think this is going to be something vice versa as well. So let's see, what to expect of their physical features. This person has a facial hair, I don't know, a beard or mustache. They're gonna have I think their legs, there is something with their legs. This is also the body of a person who has an athletic body, like a runner's legs, for instance. Something with their posture. They may be also doing this, I don't know, meditation, yoga, or something with sports. They can be good at relaxing, stretching their muscles and body. I feel this person has a short hair. I don't see long hair, but short hair. They have really big muscled legs, I do feel. Facial hair is very distinct. Not so much large shoulders, but I feel this person is a tall person. Let me see their first impressions of you, or they see your strength. What a person, they will say, they have a really good control of themselves. They have a good control of their temper, even in the stressful situations. This person in a place, for instance, where people maybe easily lose themselves, this person will see that you have this kind of a control over yourself and you have a very strong posture. So they're gonna also perceive you with your physical strength. So, yeah. Your first impressions of them, tower. How many towers we have the year Capricorn? You tell me now. That's why I am doing this spreads. Now, this person is showing up at a time where, how to say, now you're gonna see in this person what you need to change or process in order to find love. The relationship you want will be there, but you say you will also change the tower with tower and then find another tower. You got me? It's like there is this idea in the beginning within you, but you know that you have to change it because life changes itself, and then what you're gonna find at the core is actually something like very this lust, yeah, tower in tower in tower, like matrushka babies. You open, and finally you see the core. In this person, you see the very core of that matrushka, that baby. Okay, this is also like an inception story even. Okay, so what you're gonna find, your first impressions of them can be also something very core. You always wanted to break free in your mind and heart, or in your life. You see that this person is already doing that, for instance, okay? So it's gonna be really striking. It's gonna be very striking. Their emotional connection to you, Page of Pentacles. This person will have an interest on you. I mean, their emotional connection is related with, they will have this focus, and they will see that focus is in you. So you may have similar focus of interest here with them. This is how they are forming their emotional connection. Plus, this can be another earth sign, I do feel, or a water sign. Let's see your emotional connection to them. Magician. Oh, this is not an emotional connection. Capricorn, you are like, I can awake whatever emotions I want. I can make that connection, emotion in them. Magician, but the magician, it's gonna come to you very effortlessly. You will I don't know, it's like you're gonna like create you want a flower. Okay, I cannot take this flower, bring this flower maybe to you from that place, like in the times of pandemic, but I can make one flower with all the tools in my hands, and this is gonna be like, for instance, more than real. I can draw it. You know, with the magician, we wanna create a whole cosmos, new cosmos for this person. And you will try to impress them, magician. Yeah? You're gonna try to impress them. Let me see the strengths of your relationships, or a relationship with labor. Blood, sweat, and tears. Blood, sweat, and tears. And at these times, I think, also, people would love to be with people who can really be good teams, you know. like really thick and thin, right? This is the times of thick and thin. So this is the strength. Maybe that's why this love connection will start at these times. Maybe that's why in the 2020 it starts, and it's going to be a relationship which has been worked on so much. The weakness. People can be a bit broken. The weakness here, if you wanted strength, this is nice. Well, let's say we tried at the first instance. It didn't happen, but don't leave. Let's work it again. So people here is like, to leave something at the first instance because you're working so hard for it. Let's try one more time. Let's try to make it. So the weakness can be strengthened, but the strength can also turn into a weakness. So here you need a good balance. However, the connection can create its own loops also due to the times. But I think with new focus of interest which can be created, I don't know, like in this connection, people, something new always occupies people and they want to share it together. But they can be a bit broken, people a bit broken. Maybe there is something which is reminding them their past. It's not good to fall into that, the weakness. Long-term potential, Page of Swords. There is long-term potential as long as people keep the communication lively. Maybe people at some time can fall into Eight of Cups, can be also one person goes to distant, feel in the distant areas. As long as people keep the communication alive, young, and cherish it, actually knowing that separation is illusion, we are all connected, it can have a long-term potential. Militare. This is a public force, or maybe at that times there can be other different kind of society, government-based events. So if people fall apart, maybe, it's important to keep, I don't know, it's a bit, it's a weird time. So, but there is something here with the communication level. I see here one person trying to reach out, the other, or trying to learn something which can be beneficial for the relationship. If one person maybe from a different country, or this reminds me like a coup in a country. One person tried to, I don't know, but it's like the connection. I mean, our lives are so much, affected from the mundane. So this can be outer elements which can affect the path, the direction of the relationship. And I think we need to be all prepared to that. But there is a lot. I think the beautiful thing is you're gonna awake a kind of element in this person. It's gonna wake them up and form a relationship, build a relationship. There is something with the employment. It may affect a person's employment or the way that they do work, or it can be like a work person from the similar work. Yeah. The tower here can be the building as well. It's full of very interesting details, your reading, Capricorn. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, this reading makes very different and a lot of also sense when done in private, as this is a general reading, but I hope you get the spirit of this reading. If you would like to have it in private, let me know. The information is at the description box below. This is how I perform singles reading. I also get some additional cards, but I think the whole spread now, even I think it's nearly 1 hour reading. So hope it give you the energy tendency, the strength of the times ahead. Thank you so much, Capricorn, for listening and joining me in this reading. Hope you enjoyed this reading. Take good care. Ciao for now.